Trip Pearson. He got the knockdown award for this last week. That's given out each week to individuals on the team. And then we have Derrick Farrow, who had 3 forced fumbles, was the Big South Conference Defensive Player of the Week, and also was listed on Hero Sports Defensive Studs of the Week. And he's up for nomination for Hero of the Week. So, and with that being said, I'll let Coach Bohannon start with some opening comments.
Well, the way Derrick played, I think we're going to bring him over and let him play offense too, the kind of game he had. What a great, as I said afterwards, a great atmosphere and environment for our first game. I mean, the students, the community. I can't say enough good things about that, and that's so important to the success of our program here. And I was proud of our kids. They came out with a lot of energy, especially defensively, and did a lot of good things. And are excited about being 2-0. And as we tell our guys all the time, it's time to move on. We enjoyed the victory, and it's time to move on. We got a really good football team in Shorter coming in. You're talking about a team that on defense has 11 starters returning. Their safety was the Gulf South Conference Defensive Player of the Year. They have a linebacker and a defensive end that were on the first and second team, Gulf South Conference. So it's unusual to ever find somebody who's returning 11 starters. I asked our guys after practice when I said, how many can you play at once? And everybody's like 11. I was like, man, you got 11 starters coming back. That's unusual. Offensively, they got a really good running back. They're similar to us. They run the option, and their running back, kid named B.J. McCoy, had a big run, obviously a 77-yard run against Carson Newman last week. He's a good player. He's what makes them go on offense, and you know, we got to find a way to stop him to have a chance to be successful. But it's another challenge, another opportunity to be in Fifth Third Bank Stadium. And we talk about protecting the nest and making this a special place, not only a special environment, but a special place by the way we play the game. So we're excited about another opportunity.
Okay. Questions for Coach? Go ahead.
Were you able to tell if the team improved between week 1 and week 2? The opponent seemed like it was a little outmatched.
Well, we made improvements. I mean, you look at from a numbers standpoint. You know, defensively, we were down to, I believe it was 19 efforts and 28 missed assignments. All right, that's way better than what it was a week ago, but it's a little bit relative when you only play 42 snaps in a football game. All right, which is roughly half a game, a little over half a game. So was it better? Yes. It's still not where we want it to be. Offensively, we played 54 snaps with 45 efforts and 48 missed assignments. Now, relatively speaking, that's better, but you know, it's nowhere where it needs to be the kind of football team we want to be here. And as the schedule, as things get a little tougher, those things will get you beat in a heartbeat. So it was better. We made improvement. The key for us is each week can we build on the week before. Each day can we get better. So, you know, I do use those by numbers, but I can a lot of times watch this play and tell what the numbers are going to look like. You know, now next week, are those numbers better? You know, and each week do we continue to get better. So from a number standpoint, yes. But when you think about it, defensively we played 42 snaps, we had 19 efforts, and we had 14 TV timeouts. So really, should we have any? And I'm exaggerating a little bit, but with nature of being on TV, the game was stopped. It seemed like the first quarter lasted for about 2 days. I don't know about you guys. And so you look at it from a lot of different perspectives. Improvement, yes. Do we got some work to do? Absolutely.
And, I mean, to that end, can you tell yet if this team is good?
You know, we don't, Doug, I don't get caught up in whether we're good, great, all that kind of stuff. And I think these guys will tell you, all we talk about every day, can we be better than what we were the day before? And since we stepped foot on campus, August 17th of 2014, the mindset is, can we get better every day? And that really hasn't changed. You know, we don't talk about was that a good or a great or any, you know. We celebrate the wins. You know, I think the guys weren't sure what I was going to say after the game when we came in. I'm like, man, we won. It's all, hey, winning's hard. I don't care where you are. You win a game, you got to enjoy it. And but then we correct the things we can do better, and we build on them. We just talk about getting better. The thing we really emphasize, I think, is obviously when we're playing at home, that's been a big emphasis for us. I told the guys, you know, I've always been asked, and I think I was asking here for a press conference, what traditions do you want to start? And the one I told our guys I want to start is when people come to Fifth Third Bank Stadium, they're going, oh my goodness. I know I know I'm going to have one heck of a day ahead of me. Not only the environment that's created by our fans and our students, but the way we play the game at home. And it goes back to protect the nest. If there's a tradition we want to start here, it needs to be something special at home.
The level that you guys played at on Saturday, I've been involved in football for years and years. I've never seen, especially a defense, play at that level with the intensity. Are you worried about them dropping after this as far as their intensity? You think they peaked out too early?
Well, I don't know about peaking out. I think what we saw and what we got a chance to watch is how you're supposed to play the game. So we go back, and usually on a Monday morning, I'll show 3 or 4 clips of some good and maybe some bad to the whole team. And, you know, you look at the 2 snaps that there was a scoop and score. Well, everybody looks at the guy that scored the touchdown, but look at the rest of them. Look at how many black jerseys were around the football. Okay, yeah, Derrick might have forced that fumble, but McKenzie was there to scoop it, you know. Or Mason Harris forced the fumble, but Izzy was there to scoop it, and there was 9 other guys around there. And I think that's the point we made, and I'm hoping our guys take that and go, you know what? This is fun. And when you do things the right way, good things happen. Not all the time, but you got a good chance. If you play with great effort and do your job, you got a chance for good things to happen. So we try to take that and build on it. You know, I don't think really about peaking out or all, you know, but can we build on that and say, if we can do that snap in, snap out, we got a chance to be fine here. You know, but that's what we've said from day one. Play with great effort, do your job, and let the rest of it work out. So I thought it was a great coaching, teachable moment. More than me thinking about peaking or any of that, was more of, man, this is what it's about. You know, and then the play of the game, I told y'all, was Derrick's chasing the guy down when it's 58-0. That's the play of the game. And that's what if you had to sum up what our football team should look like and be like, it would be that play. And the thing about it wasn't just Derrick. If you look at it, there's about 5 other guys standing around the ball. Raymond Jennings sitting there waiting on it coming out of when you knocked it out. Raymond Jennings is standing there waiting on it. Well, if he wasn't busting his tail, then maybe he knocks it out and the other guy recovers it. So all that kind of stuff we're trying to build on, because that's really positive stuff. You know, so we're trying to build on that.
Why did you try to chase him down?
It's a pride thing. You want nobody in your home field. You want nobody to break a long run. You take pride in that.
And I'll give Derrick credit. Everything he does every day is just what he did on that play. So he practices the way he plays. He works out the way he plays. He maximizes every rep of every day. So for him, that was the next rep, and he probably never thought about what the score was or what was going on, because that was the next rep. And that's the way he does everything. And I think he's setting a great example for our football team.
So then for all 3 of you, what was it like to get that last first underway? Because there were times when you're on the field and you can't hear because that environment is what you want it to be. What are your favorite recollections? I know you were locked in for most of it, but what are your favorite recollections from that first time out?
Trip?
Probably our first offensive touchdown, and Trey went in and scored. You know, running down there for the student section was, you know, been thinking about that all year. Hadn't had a chance to do it in 2 years now, so that was pretty great right there.
With me, the first 2 defensive plays were a tackle for loss, and one of them happened to be a fumble scooped up for a touchdown. So that was pretty awesome.
I can tell you this, when on both plays, on both of the plays they're talking about, I'm standing, because we played most of the first quarter on the student section and I could see the student section after both those plays. That was about as good as it gets. I mean, however many were back there, but it was like simultaneous. Everybody on their feet and an absolute eruption of excitement, and you know, that was impressive. That was impressive.
You got the game balls.
Game balls this week on offense. The game ball went to Justin Sumter. Justin obviously had the 1 catch, but he's played well. He played well the week before, so he got on offense. On defense, Derrick Farrow, and on special teams, Derrick Farrow. And there again, he's setting the bar in the right spot for for playing with great effort.
And the belt and the thermos?
The belt went to Trip Pearson. How many knockdowns you have?
I had 9.
9.
Yep.
He beat Chaz out by 1 from last week, right? And the thermos went to Izzy Sam, who has played extremely well and also had the scoop and score on that second snap of defense.
Any injury dates?
No, we're a little banged up at times, but relatively speaking, we're healthy right now.
Coach, you talked about Nick Prada a little bit last week. I know we walked on the team. Can you give us a little more information about him and his journey?
Well, I mean, I don't know if there was a story written somewhere, but he's had a lot of trials and tribulations to get to where he is. I think he's been a couple different schools, and came to try out for the football team. And ever since he's been stepped foot on campus, you don't hear a word out of him. But he's one of those guys, he won the Thermos Award the first week. It's a perfect example of our football team, a guy that just maximizes every minute, every day. May not be the most talented or the tallest or the biggest, but plays with a lot of heart and determination, and has found himself, he's got a significant role in our football team, not only off the field, but on the field as well. And he's playing a good number of snaps for us. So it was it's a great moment. Think about it, the guy that got it this week, Izzy Sam, same boat. Here's another guy who tried out for the football team. So these guys are, you don't get much better than that. Guys that have worked their way through the hard way. They weren't necessarily signed to a scholarship and go through the recruiting and all that. They just came out and have earned their keep.
What kind of situations do you put the guys in practice to simulate adversity for conference games and other games upcoming, since they haven't had it yet?
Well, and honestly, all we're concerned with is shorter right now, and that's our focus. We don't think about anything else. We believe that practice is way harder than any game they can play in, and we put our guys over a period of time. It may not be every situation, but the way we go about our practice, it should be much tougher than a game. So we're trying to make the game a little slower, a little easier for these guys by the way we practice. So we kind of go about it that way. Situationally, we do some different stuff at times. We did a lot of stuff in preseason. When you get into a game week, you have a short period of time to get ready for an opponent. We don't practice long on Mondays. It's more of a conditioning day for us and a lift day. Tuesdays and Wednesdays are the work days. Thursday's a polish day. We meet and go over some stuff on Friday, and we play. So, I mean, it's going fast right now. It's fat, for as long as we waited, it's like you turn around, it's Saturday, which is a good thing. I love it.
Is what he said. Are the practices harder than the games?
For sure.
Especially for an offensive lineman, I can tell you.
What makes them harder?
Well, for O-line, our individual period is pretty tough. You can ask anyone on the team. It's by far the toughest on the team. So that's tribute to Coach Chestnut.
What makes it tough? What are y'all doing?
Lots of sleds. We have this thing called zigzags, which is, whoever came up with that idea, I don't particularly like them. But, yeah, it definitely gets tough for sure. Can't argue that.
But one of the things that coaches harp on is you practice hard all throughout the week, so on Saturdays it's easy.
What makes y'all's practice harder for your position group?
We run a lot, so, obviously we have to be in shape. And we work on technique every day. You can never work on your technique too much. So.
Anybody think Coach was crazy on Monday today, this week?
No, sir. We had pretty good practice Monday.
Yeah, it was much better than last week. They knew what was coming. Last week was a little bit of an eye-opener. I'm sure y'all would agree.
bit.
Yeah. Plus, you had 3 days off.
What is a zigzag?
Well, one guy holds the bag, and then we have 5 guys lining up. There's 5 bags. There's a guy holding it and a guy lining up against it, against it. The guy fires out and drives a bag, and the guy holding it zigzags back and forth. And you have to exaggerate your feet and pretty much kick yourself in the butt. And then whenever he blows the whistle, you have to do an up, down, get up, and sprint back, and then you hold the bag again. You don't do it right in any way, then you do it again. Pretty fun.
Coach, can you talk about the passing game?
Well, obviously we opened up and where the first play was a pass for a touchdown. And before you knew it and you looked up on the scoreboard, it was 35-0. And it was a blink of an eye. And on offense at that point in time, I said, we're going to run the football. We're going to get better at what we're trying to do here. And that was our MO from there on. And it kind of happened a little bit the week before, to be honest with you. We haven't fully got into what we need to do from a offensive schematic standpoint in its totality yet. And we are, I promise you, because we're going to have to. We're not going to have a choice. As I've told you guys before, we have an awfully talented group of receivers. Awfully talented, awfully deep. It's the one group I've talked about for a long time. Many of you have heard me. And as we go, you're going to see those guys become more and more involved in what's going on. They're involved right now, but as far as from a spectator's view, as far as what's going on. And so I think each week will bring a new challenge. But we can throw the football. It just hasn't, the way the games have gone, it hasn't lent itself to that's what we need to do. And Coach Chestnut was trying to call it a week ago, and I said, no, we're not doing it anymore. We need it. We need to do it. But I just felt like where we were in the game, the right thing to do was to run the ball. Plus, we need to get better at running the football. So it's an area we need to continue to work on. But I feel like you're going to see that as we go, as we move forward. You're going to see more of that.
Last week, you were talking a little bit about Evan Waters saying, hey, if I'm down there coaching, this is set up perfect because we get a chance to come in and play on TV and do all that up there in the best environment. How does it change this week a little bit? Now you've got an in-state opponent, first one coming in. This would give them an opportunity to, maybe knock everybody down the fence post a little bit. What challenges does that present?
Well, obviously it's an in-state school, which I talked to our guys already about. It's a big deal now. You got somebody an hour down the road, you're going to have to hear about this one for a year, more, because we don't have them on the schedule anymore. And they sought out to schedule us. And I told our guys that. I said, we had another school scheduled. They dropped football, and so they wanted to schedule us. And I just told our guys, hey, they feel pretty good about themselves. They're going to come to our place, want to schedule us. So, we'll see how that goes. But, it's in-state. It's a team right up the road. A lot of Georgia kids just like us. Our kids know their kids. So, I think that brings a little something extra to the table, but I think it's good. I think it'll be a positive. And I hope that it's a motivating factor for our football team because we've had the discussion so far this week, and we'll have more, but it needs to be a motivating factor.
Coach and Derrick, following up on that point, Coach Jones, the way that he's run his offense, it's a mirror image, athletic quarterback, tailback that can really do some damage when he gets the football. What's it been like looking in the mirror this week at that offense and preparing?
Well, I think, I think the good thing for our kids, especially on defense, and Derrick can speak to this, we've played against ourselves a lot more than anybody in the country. So I think that's going to help us on our end. But you could also say the same thing if you're Coach Jones over there at Shorter, so they've played against each other. So I don't think there's any mystery what either side's going to do. I think it's going to be who can execute the best, play with maximum effort, and do the things that honestly we did early in the game Saturday, Coach Jones knows what's going on in the option world. So I don't think there's any mystery of what's going on. It's about executing and knowing your assignment and being where you're supposed to be, because both sides got an idea of what's going on. We're a little different. They have their version of it, and I'll let Derrick can talk, but they kind of have their version of the option, just like we have our version. But it's going to be a challenge. They do a good job with what they do, without a doubt.
Well, we both run the same offense, so defensive-wise, we've seen it a lot. So Coach Newberry and the defensive staff, they're going to come up with a great scheme, and it's all going to be assignment football and see who really wants it more.
After watching the game tape, was there any barbecuing for the leap?
No, I did not. I guess I've started the term barbecue, so I'm gonna have to roll with it now. No, I think I told y'all after the game, I grabbed the whole offense and said, guys, I love your enthusiasm, I love your energy, but we can't do that. And Trey already knew it. You know, so hopefully we call those kind of ignorant penalties. Hopefully we can eliminate those. Somebody sent me a message that said that now Trey's done the leap, it's your turn. I thought it was kind of comical. But no, I love the enthusiasm of our football team. I love the energy and passion which they're playing the game right now. And we got to be smart, but also don't want to take away from the enthusiasm they have right now, because that's really positive.
Could you get up there if you had to?
Absolutely not, Doug, but thanks for asking.
So we're not going to see a fifth third flight out.
There would have to be, the EMS would have to be on hand. It'd be ugly.
Any more questions? All right, thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Derrick. Thanks, Trip.
Yep.